Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another comedy and drama night. Tonight, I will be reviewing The Fugitive, released in 1993. Directed by Andrew Davis, from a script by Jeb Stewart and David Tweley. Based on the series of the same name by Roy Huggins. Starring Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, Sela Ward, Joe Pantoliano, Andreas Katsulas, Jeroen Krabbe, Daniel Roebuck, Tom Wood, Julianne Moore, Ron Dean, Joseph Kosala, and Jane Lynch. Now, I was a fan of the original series starring David Jensen, and whenever I heard that Harrison Ford was going to be playing Richard Kimball, I was excited. I saw the trailers. I was stoked with this. This looks real good. This is a serious film. It's not one of those goofy-ass remakes of a serious movie or series, and it's taken it in a goofy direction the way that we get with some of these other films. And, of course, Andrew Davis, I've always loved him as a director, and I'd already seen a great film that he had done prior to this with Under Siege, one of the very few Steven Seagal movies where it actually has a pretty good plot and a good storyline and everything. But it's not so much because of Steven Seagal. But his direction in that was great, and I'd seen him direct several other movies prior to that as well. And so I was a fan of his. I'm a fan of Harrison Ford, of course. And Tommy Lee Jones had played in Under Siege. So I knew of him from that, playing. And I'd seen Tommy Lee Jones playing in some other stuff prior to Under Siege. So Under Siege wasn't my full-on introduction to him. Of course, I'd seen him in Coal Miner's Daughter, and he was excellent in that. But he really stood out in Under Siege. So whenever he was cast in this, I was like, oh, that's cool. He's going to be playing Gerard, and he's going to be the guy hunting Harrison Ford. But whenever I went and seen this in the theaters, it was just so revealing because, yes, Harrison Ford does steal the show throughout the opening parts of this film in a very underperformed role. He's not trying to play over the top or play a big badass tough guy like, we normally see Harrison Ford playing with Han Solo and Indiana Jones. He's playing just a normal, everyday guy, which is what the character was in the original series. Well done by Andrew Davis here. And then once he escapes in this, this train sequence with the bus. Oh my God, this is such a great sequence. One of the best action sequences in cinema history. But once he escapes, though, this movie becomes Sam Gerard's movie. This is all about Tommy Lee Jones and his crew, which his crew is just as badass as he is. I mean, you have Joe Pantoliano as his character in here. You have Daniel Roebuck. You have Tom Wood. They are such great characters, and they have such a great repertoire on Tommy Lee Jones and everything. So it's like, you've got such a badass crew working with Tommy Lee Jones in here hunting down Harrison Ford. And Harrison Ford's Richard Kimball kind of becomes a side character in his own film once Tommy Lee Jones gets introduced. Which it turns out worked out great for Tommy Lee Jones. Well, Tommy Lee Jones won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for The Fugitive, and it was well-deserved. He is so excellent in this film. One disappointment I had was they cast Sela Ward as Helen Kimball, the wife to Harrison Ford, which means she's killed off in the opening moments, and we only basically see her kind of in flashbacks throughout this film, and it's kind of disappointing because I really like Sela Ward. And then we get a early role by Julianne Moore, and she is excellent as this doctor character in here. Very well done in her role, and you can see where she would go on to become a future star because of this part in The Fugitive. Another girl plays a doctor in this that one might not remember is, of course, Jane Lynch. And Jane Lynch is very, very likable. I mean, this is a stark contrast to the later roles where she's playing, fairly snarky and over the top, characters that are almost unlikable. Here she is great. She is highly likable as Richard Kimball's doctor friend here of Kathy, and she's great in her role. Now, I'm going to get into spoiler territory, so if you have not seen The Fugitive, go watch it and then come back and watch my review here. The reveal of the real bad guy in this, now, the killer of Helen is still the one-armed man with Andreas Katsulas playing the character of Frederick Sykes. So they didn't change that but he is doing it under the command of someone else, and that was revealed to be Jeroen Krabbe's Dr. Charles Nichols. And it just, some of the moments in this don't click when you rewatch this, because you have Charles he could totally tell Gerard or anyone else where Richard is, that he'd seen him, that he talked to him and all this shit and everything, and he doesn't. He actually has a meeting with him, and he plays it up like he didn't have anything to do with Helen's murder and everything. And it's just, I don't think that was necessary. I think you could have had Frederick Sykes be the main villain of this, and it would have been fine. But his final fight with Harrison Ford at the end of the film is pretty damn good. Although I think that final showdown, that final fight should have been with Frederick Sykes there. But anyway, The Fugitive is an excellent. This is how you do it, people. This is how you take a beloved TV show and remake it into something great. You actually respect the source material, and you make yourself a film that is equally as good, and in my opinion is better than the series. So my final review for The Fugitive from 1993, I am going to give this film a 10 out of 10. Even though that Charles Nichols thing, it does not detract from this film and make it any less of a great film for me. But what do you guys think of The Fugitive? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or a ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members prior to it going up for all other subscribers. So if you want to get interactive and help me to get more movies or TV show reviews on here that I might not normally do, become a Plus member. Well, that's the end of another Comedy and Drama Night. If you missed last week's Comedy and Drama Night, check out the link above. Or if you missed any of the videos during Comedy and Drama Night, check out this playlist and get caught up on anything you've missed.